Okay, so when it comes to keyword selection, what we're going to end up with is keywords that I basically put into like a traffic light system. You got your green ones, you got your amber or your orange, whatever you want to call it, and then you got your red ones. So the green ones are the ones where we're getting low cost per conversion. You know, that's excellent. That's what everyone wants. But the trade-off or the downside of those ones is that you also get very low amounts of clicks and impressions. Now, if you've got enough keywords or you're getting enough traffic, then that's probably acceptable for some businesses. But most businesses will find that that doesn't justify an ad spend and they're not getting enough traffic and they can't scale if they just stick there. So then what you want to do is, when you start with your keywords, you basically want to have one of two major strategies. One is you start very specific and then you reach outwards. You start putting in more and more keywords that are similar and more, and you start going out and out and out and out. Okay? The other strategy that you can have is you pile in a bunch of keywords and you throw a bunch of money at it and you test. And what you do is, as soon as they race up to a high cost, a high amount of clicks with no conversion, so they end up over here, you turn them off. So as an example, what might happen, let's say you are willing to pay $10 per conversion or $10 per sale. Let's say per sale. You might be selling a $70 or $80 product and you're willing to pay $10 in ad spend per sale. So what you do is you don't turn it off the moment the cost gets to $10 and there's no conversions. Now, the simple reason for that is this. It works out as an average number. So your first conversion, this could end up being a very good keyword. Your first conversion might not happen to say $15, $16, $17. But if you turned it off, you might never know. So your second conversion might happen, $2 later, and now you've got two conversions at $19. And your third conversion might happen like $8 later, and now you've got three conversions at $27, which is well within your average. So you've got to be prepared to spend a little bit of money in the start to buy your data and make sure that it's a keyword that you do want to turn off. And sometimes you've got to pay more, even though you might only want to pay $10 per conversion. Sometimes you've got to pay $20 or $30 on that keyword before you can be convinced that that's one you need to turn off. Now, these ones down here are going to be quite obvious. You know that you're going to leave them on, because what's going to happen is, the data on those is going to come in very slowly because they've got low amounts of clicks and impressions. But what's going to happen is you're going to get to, $2 or $3 or $4, and you're going to have a conversion. And then you're going to get to another few dollars, and they're going to have another conversion. And now your average conversion price is, say, $3 or $4. And straight away you can see, yep, that's one that I leave on. Now, these ones here in the middle, often we don't know which way they're going to go. And sometimes they're looking all right, and then they start, for whatever reason, they start bumping out here. What can happen is sometimes one's performing all right and it's within your tolerable limit, like it might be converting at, say, $9 per conversion, and then one of your competitors is starting to lose sales to you, so they up the bids. And then this one here might start converting at, say, $14 per conversion, and out it goes. It pops out of your range. So this is why you have to actively monitor these. You can't just sort of watch them once and go, yep, okay, that's it forever. So what you want to do is, as I said, take one of two approaches. Either start broad and spend a bit of money and blow through a bit of budget and do your testing and turn these ones off, or start narrow, start with very focused keywords, but bear in mind this one takes a long time to gather data, and then keep branching out, adding more, and just turning the ones off like that. Now, down the bottom, I've got two very different keywords that I want to show you from my own campaigns. Okay, so I've got PPL exam practice, private pilot license exam practice, and I know the pilot. Now, this one here is very specific to my buyers. This one here is not. This one here, I know the pilot flights, is actually a discount flights website, which has a bit of a slant towards the aviation sector, because they tend to like this booking on this site just because of the name, etc. So let's take a quick look at some of the data and let me explain the difference and how that relates to what we've just learned up above. So if we look at their clicks are not too indifferent, okay? We've got about a 25% difference there. But if we look at their impressions, we've got a massive difference, okay? You know, one's 27, one's 537. My brain hurts just doing the maths on that, but massive difference in impressions, which gives us a very different click-through rate. So this one here, fantastic click-through rate. I've only spent $5.98 in this particular time period, which I don't want to give away what it is. In that time period, I got 1.5 sales or conversions, and it only cost me $3.99 per sale. Okay, I had a 10% conversion rate. My average position was 1.1, and the cost per click was 40 cents. Now, a couple of things I think you want to compare here. First of all, this one cost me 36 cents, and I was position 2.5. So it's harder to compete on. It's a worse keyword. It's getting no or less conversions, but because that's well below my limit, I would have to let that run. And maybe I did. Okay, I just can't remember at the moment. But maybe I let that run to $20 or $30 before I turned it off. Bearing in mind I want conversions below $10. So if the other thing is, look at this. Why would I want to pay 36 cents per click and get lots of them when up here I can pay 40 cents per click and just go and find other keywords like this or similar and maybe pay 45 or 50 max and get reasonable conversion rates? Okay, so this one here is a classic example of this green light. The problem is, you know, the clicks and impressions, especially the impressions, are reasonably low. It's not a huge traffic keyword, but it converts well. This one here is your classic example of the red keyword, okay? It's getting huge amounts of impressions, it's getting lots of clicks, but the cost per conversion was obviously too high for me, so I turned it off. Okay, so that's the difference. And what you want to do, as I said, I'll just recap. You want to go either, you want to have a bottom up or a top down approach. With the top down approach, you throw in all your keywords and you keep turning these ones off. That will cost you more money, but it will save you a lot of time. If you have a bottom up approach where you throw in very specific keywords and then you just keep adding more and more and more and just turning them off when they're like this, you'll save money, but you'll lose time. So what you have to do is work out, are you a person that needs to, you just want to pay a few $100s and get the data and then turn these ones off and just, you know, let it run, and you're going to have very rapid success and you're going to know what's going on very rapidly? Or are you a person who really needs to watch their budget and therefore you're willing to let this run for 3, 4, 5 weeks before you get enough data to know which ones these are that you've got to turn off? Okay, or before you get enough data to know that your landing page is converting and things like that. So there's benefits to, you know, the bottom up approach. There's benefits to the top down approach. Only you can choose based on your particular circumstances.